Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's RABBITRY and Aquaponic Produce. And we're back with another rabbit farming video for you guys. Today's video is part 4. We're continuing our series on sustainability. Part 4 today, we're dealing with energy management. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more right after the intro. Okay guys, we're back. So today we're talking about energy management. Now, right off the bat, one of the things that everyone is going to be doing is using artificial lighting. If you're breeding rabbits, your rabbits should be on a 16-hour cycle. That's optimal lighting period for breeding rabbits. So that means then that if daylight starts at 6 a.m., then they need to have light until approximately 10 p.m. at night. The only way to do that, of course, is to use artificial lighting. In this case, you don't really have a choice. So one of the things that you can do, obviously, is to be more efficient. You can change out your regular incandescent bulbs, replacing them with the more energy efficient LED lights. LEDs are more energy efficient than the regular incandescent bulbs, and they also have a longer lifespan. So you'll come out way better in the long run, having to change less bulbs along the way and using less energy while doing it. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is to use as much natural lighting as possible. Okay, now this will apply more in cases where persons have enclosed rabbitries. If you do have an enclosed rabbitry, then there's going to be a greater demand on you to use artificial lighting. So within your design, it would be wise to implement as many windows or even skylights as possible to maximize on the use of the natural sunlight and reduce the amount of artificial lighting required. In cases where a rabbitry is not enclosed, you are obviously going to benefit from whatever natural light is available, and you're going to be compelled at night time to use artificial lighting. So that's just something you keep in mind. Another area that consumes energy is with ventilation. Again, if you have an enclosed rabbitry, this is even more important for you, because at some stage you're going to have to incorporate the use of extractor fans to help with ventilation. Of course, this usage can be reduced by using natural ventilation. Obviously, like I said again, utilizing windows and probably some screened doors, to keep out as much insects and things like that, but allow airflow to pass through. With that in mind also, you want to think about the orientation of your rabbitry, meaning the direction that your rabbitry faces. It would make more sense, obviously, to align your rabbitry with the direction that the wind blows in your area. That way you can capitalize on the natural airflow that passes through to help with cooling or even heating, as the case may be. All of this will reduce the usage of your extractor fans or even air conditioning to some extent. And since we're talking about heating and cooling, you may even want to consider insulating your walls to reduce heat transfer, and that way again reduce the usage on your cooling and heating equipment. Your ultimate goal is just to maintain a comfortable temperature within your rabbitry that is good for both your rabbits and yourself, because at the end of the day you have to work and function in there as well. Okay, so you want to have a comfortable temperature so that everyone can function properly and you don't have to run the equipment too much. However, if you do have to employ heating and cooling equipment, you may want to look at your options. I did some research recently and I realized that As opposed to using air conditioning, there's another option available now called heat pumps. I wasn't too familiar with them at first, but I looked them up and I realized that there are some advantages to using heat pumps as compared to using air conditioning. The main advantage is that air conditioning can be used to cool a room, right? Air conditioners work by removing heat from within a particular room and transferring that heat to the outside, and that by that it cools the room. But they can't do it in reverse. Heat pumps, on the other hand, they have a type of reverse valve that you can switch, so it works in the opposite way as well. So if you need to heat a room, the heat pump can extract heat from the air outside and transfer it to the air inside your RABBITRY, thereby heating it and minimizing the need for you to have to use separate heaters to heat your room. So in a sense, you can replace two separate devices with the use of one device, right? I'm not sure about the cost of these heat pumps. That's something I have to look into. If it's something you all are familiar with, drop a comment below and let me know. It's something I recently came across and I just thought that I'd mention it at this point in time. Okay. Now obviously, all of these devices and equipment can be operated somewhat remotely with the use of timers and sensors. Okay, the lighting, like for instance, we have a timer here that turns on the light at 6 p.m. and then turns it off at 10 p.m. So we get that additional 4 hours of lighting in the night to make the 16 hours. So that's something you could do, as well as with everything else, your timers and your sensors, so that they will come on only when needed and reduce your energy consumption. And since we're talking about energy consumption, let's look at the source of the energy that you're consuming. One of your biggest steps to be more sustainable and conserve energy is to invest in renewable energies. Solar power and wind power are becoming more and more popular with each passing year for a number of different reasons. One of the main reasons being the cost of energy. If you have to purchase energy from the power companies, so a lot of persons are going off grid now and installing solar and wind combinations to either reduce or completely eliminate their dependence on the grid. So just by doing that, you automatically reduce your environmental footprint, and more importantly, you reduce your own personal energy cost. And you may even be in a position, depending on the rating of your system, to supply any excess energy produced to the grid and get paid for it from the power companies. So that's also another option for you to look at. And if you're really concerned about conserving energy, then you can even employ a professional to do an audit for you, right? Bring in someone to do an energy audit of your setup so that they can identify areas of high consumption and make suggestions to help you reduce energy in those areas depending on your particular setup. One of the things you may want to do is to look at more energy efficient equipment, and that's going to go hand in hand with the previous point of using solar and wind energy, because the electricity generated by wind and solar systems are usually of a different format from the electricity that is generated by the power companies and coming through the grid and to your sockets. So what you usually have to do now is to use some type of inverter to convert that DC current to alternate current, and there is a bit of loss of energy during that transfer process. However, if you could invest in equipment that will use the direct current produced by your solar and wind turbines, then you're going to run more efficiently overall, and you're going to skip that process of converting the energy and having that loss during the breakdown. So overall, everything is going to be more efficient. Now, I believe that the equipment, these energy efficient equipment, may cost a bit more, but I think with time that is going to change, because if the more people that get into using renewable energy, the cheaper these products are going to become over time. So for now, I think it's just something that we have to live with, right, in terms of cost. But as we go along gradually, and when it's time for you to upgrade, these devices are going to gradually become cheaper. So of course, it's in our interest to encourage more persons to invest in renewable energies to help speed up that process. Right. Something else I want to talk about is water conservation. Now, we discussed water management in part 2 of this series. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below in the description for you. Definitely go look at that video. In fact, look at all the videos in this series if you haven't seen them as yet. But yes, in part 2 of this series, we discussed water management. This point here is something of an indirect benefit, whereas if you install more efficient plumbing, let's say low flow faucets and taps within your setup, or even for the purposes of irrigation, if you use water efficient irrigation systems, for instance, if you use drip irrigation as to versus sprinklers or other types of irrigation for the field, you are going to reduce your cost where it relates to the pumping and treatment of water. So it's an indirect benefit, but it's one that you're going to garner if you look at implementing some of these water conservation methods within your rabbitry. And last but not least, you need to educate and train yourself and your staff on these energy saving practices. Encourage a culture of energy conservation and ensure that everyone understands the importance of reducing energy consumption. This is a continuous process. Yeah? It's not a one-time thing. You're going to have to constantly monitor, maintain, and continue to optimize your system to help maximize energy efficiency and sustainability on your app. So guys, I hope you found this video informative. Hope you found the information useful. If it's your first time pulling up here with us, definitely hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell to turn on notifications so you'll be notified whenever we release new content. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Take a few seconds right now to click that like button. Help YouTube and its algorithm to know that you like our content, so they're going to share it with more persons. Guys, and again, thank you all for tuning in. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers right now. I mean, we've been at this a while. We're somewhere just over 5,000 subscribers. We want to get that up to 10,000. So please like, share, subscribe. Tell someone about our videos. Share it with someone if you think it would be useful to them. Help us to hit that mark of 10,000 subscribers. When we get to 10,000, we're going to have a giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be as yet. I haven't decided all the criteria that are going to be required for determining who wins that giveaway. But I know for sure that we're going to do a giveaway of some sort. Might probably be some breeding stock, you know, something like that, to help out a farmer that's just starting out. But we're going to be doing some type of giveaway to help give back to the community and to say thank you for your support over these years. So guys, Sean Austin, on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, Sean's RABBITRY and Aquaponic produced Road to 10,000, baby. Stay on board and let's take it there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.